What's good, everybody? What is good, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr, host of the Victory Formation Sports Show on 93.9 The Ville, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to 11. If you're watching this on Twitter, give this broadcast a retweet, like. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe, because we're going to be talking about what we saw Game 2, Louisville versus Calgary, another 40-piece win, 111-71 over Calgary. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Coach Kelsey got them boys playing. Coach Kelsey ain't messing around, team. He is not messing around. The Cards today were led by Cason Pryor, 20 points for the fifth-year senior. Following him up was a plethora. 4 Cardinals scored in double figures. Second, Corn Johnson, 15 points. Javon Hadley, 13. And Terrence Edwards Jr., 14. Kanai Roots, only 4 points, but 11 big rebounds, including 8 on the defensive side, 2 offensive rebounds. Also, one of my favorite players early on has been Cater Traore. Cater Traore has been amazing. He finished with 8.7 rebounds for them, being on the offensive side of things, 4 assists, just making all kinds of plays. This was another spectacular performance. So the Cards shot 52% from the field. They shot over 40% from the game from 3. Most of the game finished right around 39% from 3. And the combined average victory, they combined the 2 games they played in Bahamas. Say whatever you want about the competition, but certain traits translate. 46 margin of victory, average 46 points per game. 52 game 1, 40 in game 2. And you could have said whatever you wanted about game 1. Calgary is actually a collegiate team out of Canada. Whatever you think about Canadian basketball, there's some hoopers that come out of Canada, and they're a legit collegiate team, probably a low to mid-level. But as I said in my previous video, winning exhibition games have been hard to come by for the Louisville Cardinals over the last few years. And so I am not taking anything away from getting a W in an exhibition game by Coach Kelsey and staff. And to do it, not just to get the W, but to do it in impressive fashion, to see traits, no matter who is wearing the opposite jersey, that will translate throughout the season, is what I'm looking for. Because I'm not just looking at the final score. I'm not just looking at the final score to worry about like what I think of the team. I can make evaluations late July, early August about what I think about this team. And this team, I think Cason Pryor may end up being the leading scorer. I always kind of thought it'd be Terrence Edwards Jr., but the way this team plays, fast, hustles, all over the pace and space, shooting threes, getting layups and dunks, throwing lobs, pick and roll, motion offense, the ball never stagnant. The ball moves all around the court. And those are things that will translate no matter who is on the opposite end of the court, no matter if it's Calgary or Kentucky or North Carolina or Duke or Bahamas, whoever. Those traits show up. And the one thing I can say, following these games in the Bahamas is, man, this is fun. Like, this is fun basketball, to actually get a chance to talk about what I was seeing on the court, to actually get a chance to talk about the good things, the positivity that I'm seeing from this team. And it's early August. It's early August. They don't play a game for 2 months. They don't play games to October. And that is so satisfying. So satisfying. Over the course of the 2 games, the 2 players that stood out to me the most, obviously, I think Cason Pryor, scoring early and often. His 3-point shot is better than I thought. His handling ability and his 3-point shot is better than I thought. And the tenacity that this team plays with is right up his alley. The tenacity that Coach Kelsey wants to play with is right up his alley, because he's going to get in folks' face. He's going to jump up and block shots. He's going to hit open shots. And all of these guys are willing passers. All of these guys. Let me see. What was the assist number again? Total assists, 22 assists. 22 assists again in this game on how many made baskets? On 37 made baskets. 22 assists on 37 made baskets. I can live with that, guys. I can live with that, guys. 38 assists on 43 made baskets in game 1. 22 assists on 37 made baskets in game 2 while shooting over 50% in both games. You can't ask for much more than that. You can't ask for much more than that. Now, this isn't just an all praise fest, because there are things in this game I think you were able to see more of what they will have to continue to work on. Because I asked Coach Kelsey, I was like, yo, when you beat teams by an average of 46 points per game, what are the takeaways? And he's like, I can't really tell you yet because I haven't seen the film. And we won so lopsided, I get it. Now, what I can tell you, just based on what I watched, is they still have to continue to learn each other. I feel like they were better in this game than they even were in game one when it comes to not overpassing. Now, what do I mean by that? Overpassing in the sense of in game one, albeit they won by 52 points, it's not me complaining. These are 13 new guys. They're 13 new guys, new to each other too. They're new guys. They're older veteran guys for the most part. Only James Scott and Kanai Roos are like 18, 19. But they're 13 outside of James Scott and Rain Smith and Kobe Rogers is redshirting. None of these guys ever played with each other on the team. And so in game one, you would see there were some unforced turnovers because instead of 1-2 layup or 1-2-3 3-pointer or whatever, sometimes you would see 1-2-3-4 and it'd be a turnover. It's like, oh, you should have shot it on 3 or 1-2-3 a turnover and you should have shot it on 2. But that's because it's been instilled in them and they're willing to be unselfish enough to where they're looking out for their teammates and they're still figuring out each other. And I felt like that got cleaned up in game two, and it had to because this was a better team. It got cleaned up and there wasn't as much of that. But I think as you learn each other and since you don't play a real game or another game for 2 months, that will continue to get better. I think the transition defense after made baskets, they need to continue to get back. Part of that, now this is twofold though. Part of the reason why sometimes their transition defense, whether it's off made baskets or missed baskets, they don't always get back is because they crash the board so heavy. This team is an offensive rebounding machine. All 5 guys attack the glass off makes, off shots by the defense or the offense. On defense, they all 5 crash the glass. And with that, if you don't get the rebound and one of the guys do leak out for the opposing team, you can get transition layups. You can get transition buckets. And that happened a couple of times in both games. But that's a good problem to have. I'm not mad at that. If you crash an offensive board, I'm not mad that if you give up a couple of transition points because you just so happen to not get the offensive rebound. I do think that'll be something that they'll have to adjust to because they won't get every offensive rebound, playing better teams, playing bigger guys, playing more talented, got talent level that is a little more even with them or maybe even better than theirs. But they have 2 months to work on that. They have 2 entire months to work on that. So those are 2 things that kind of stood out to me that I think they will have to continue to get better. I think the on-ball defense off the pick and roll will have to continue to get better. And that's just learning each other. When the pick and roll is set, sometimes you saw the big man not get caught in between, but that's just basic basketball. It's going to happen in every game anyway, but still learning each other. Am I playing drop coverage? Am I coming up on the ball handler, et cetera, et cetera. So those things, not worried about it, but if I got to be nitpicky, right? Like I got to be nitpicky to have a somewhat balanced of like, yes, I love everything. Don't get it twisted. I loved everything that I saw. And when you win by an average of 46 points per game, you ain't going to get too many complaints out of me. But the things that I know that they'll have to go clean up over the course of the next 2 months are those slight things. When to crash the boards, when to have somebody getting back, especially if guys and teams are leaking out and you're playing more talented teams. Let me go ahead and show you the box score and let's go through some of the numbers that, like I said, that stood out. Obviously, free throw shooting was a struggle for Louisville last year. 76%. I'm not mad at that. Because you have such a good team that shoots the 3 so well and shot over 40% during their 2 games from 3-point range, that typically good 3-point shooters are pretty good free throw shooters. One thing today that really stood out to me was Terrence Edwards' ability to get to the rim. Not settling for threes, only shot 2 3-pointers. Not settling for threes because that's not his game. We have a team full of shooters, but that's not Terrence Edwards Jr.'s game. His game isn't shooting a bunch of threes. His game is being able to get to the basket, draw fouls, and scoring off the hard closeouts because we do shoot 3 so well. 5 of 9 from the field, and I think it took him a while, but he's starting to find his footing. Rain Smith, 3 for 6 after going 4 for 14, 3 for 6 from 3 for the game. Awesome game from Rain. We knew that struggle, that 4 for 14, missing 10 threes in the first game wasn't something that was going to be forever. He had to work himself out of that, and he did today. He did an awesome job. He did an awesome job showing off why Coach Kelsey believes he's one of the best shooters in the entire world. Okay, you can't say enough about guys like Chucky Hepburn. Chucky, just from the tone, he set the tone from Jump Street. Chucky set the tone from Jump Street that, hey, we come in here and we come in here to make plays today. I'm coming here to make plays today. From getting the dunk that nobody thought he would be able to do down the lane, flushing on somebody, to getting a steal and hitting a three on consecutive possessions, Chucky set the tone. And guys match his energy. Chucky sets the tone on defense when he's harassing the opposing team's best guard. Chucky sets the tone by the offense never looking stagnant when he's in the game. That is the definition of a pure point guard. That is the definition of a pure point guard, and that is Chucky Hepburn. I loved everything I seen out of him. Corin Johnson is just, he's a microwave. He comes in and he heats up really fast, gets his shot off. Only shot 5 for 12, but he hit another 2 threes, knocked down all his free throws. He is a sniper. Your job is to come in and get us buckets. Your job is to come in off the bench and get us buckets. And you're going to need Corin Johnson's going to win you a game or two this year. Like, let me repeat that. Corin Johnson and his ability to score off the bench is going to win you a game, maybe two this season. And that's always lovely. And then the guy that I had to tweet about early in the game, that's Kenai Roos. Only scored 4 points, only 1 for 5 from 3. 1 for 5 from the field, only one of 3 from 3. But his presence was felt because he had 11 rebounds in 22 minutes. He tied for the most minutes on anybody on the team. He tied for the most minutes on anybody on the team, and he had 11 rebounds. His shots, and this is the thing. What can you do for me? What can you do for the team when your shot's not falling? This is a team that loves to get up and down the court. This is a team that loves to get shots. They get plenty of shots up, both from the three and at the rim. But what can you do for me when your shot's not falling? And for 2 consecutive games, Kenai Roos, the only freshman on the roster, continues to make himself valuable even when his shot's not falling. In game 1, his shot wasn't falling early. It came on late. And I was like, yo, this dude's a stud. In game 2, he only took 5 shots, and it just wasn't falling. He had 1 of 3 from threes, but he grabbed 11 rebounds. He played tenacious defense. Multiple of those rebounds were on the offensive side of things to give the Cards another possession. Some of them they scored, some of them they didn't. But he is showing his value when his shot is not falling. That is invaluable, and that is what's going to get you on the court. That is what is going to get you a ton of playing time on a team that's full of veterans and you're a true freshman. Being valuable when your shot is not falling. And then the guy who ultimately embodies that completely is Kader Traore. Abubakar Traore, Kader Traore. He only took 3 shots. That's it. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals in 20 minutes. 8 points. Just a stat sheet stuffer. And then he had the best block of the game. They called goaltending, but guess what? I don't give a damn. Block that shot every time and send the message that at 6'5", you're going to have a hard time scoring at the rim. And I love everything about that. Once again, don't want to make entirely too much about this performance over at the Bahamas, but I'm not going to undersell it. I may not oversell it and say, oh, you're going to be the national champions based off what I see in the Bahamas, but I'm not going to undersell it. No matter what I continue to say this because people will point out, oh, you were playing the school of the blind. Oh, you guys weren't playing anybody. None of that matters. The traits are what matter. Can this translate? Can creating transition baskets after made shots translate? Absolutely. Can offensive rebounding and second chance points translate? Absolutely. Can hustle, intensity, and effort, even when you're up by 40 points, translate? 100% absolutely bona fide guarantee, yes. And that's what I was looking at. And that's what this team does. And that is why this team is gearing up for a special season. Once again, I don't know how many wins they're going to have. I don't know what they're going to be able to do, but what I do know is that the bar has been set and expectations have risen based on what us as a fan base was able to witness while they were there at the Bahamas. And that's not a bad thing. I think they welcome all newcomers. I think they welcome all people who were hesitant to jump on the bandwagon to go ahead and jump on. And that's what you love to see. Being humble is overrated. At times, being humble is overrated, and being the underdog is overrated. I like being the top dog. And Louisville coming out, beating teams, and once again, I said this in the last video. It's not about killing an ant with a sledgehammer, but it's not about that ant you just killed. It's about all the other ants that you're sending a message to. And winning 2 games in the Bahamas by an average of 46 points is sending a message to the rest of the country. Hey, y'all might be better than Calgary. Y'all may be better than Bahamas, but Louisville basketball is a problem once again. And even if you whoop us, you're going to have to work for whooping us. We're not just going to lay over and die. And that's all you ask for. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a fun basketball season. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show, brought to you via YouTube, Twitter, whatever platform you're watching this on. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and a retweet if you watch this on X. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.